Hello.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful Sunday afternoon. We hope that you're all well. Welcome to this week's Sunday Sofa with me. My name is Leah Shive. I am a spiritual medium, and I've got two fabulous guests, hosts with us today. So over to you, Polly. Over to you, Polly. I know everyone knows you already, but there we go. You can introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Polly Harnett, and I work as a spiritual medium, tarot card reader, trance medium, trance healer, and lots of other things, animal healer, communicator, all of that. Really massive welcome to you all today. We're all really buzzing to be back here again in January 2021.
And hi, Jane Morton, psychic medium, psychic counsellor, therapist, healer, you name it. I'm back joining you after being on a few days ago. So thank you for joining us.
So hi everyone. We have got a very interesting subject for you today. So we'll just say a few hellos and then we will get started. So hi Sally.
Hi Sally.
Hi Sally.
Hope you're having a fab Sunday. Hi Wendy.
Hi Wendy.
Hello Wendy. Hello Tina. Oh,
hi Tina.
Hi Sally. Hi Karen.
Hi
Karen. Let us know where you're watching from as well.
Hi
Alison.
And if you're new, welcome to the Sunday Sofa.
Hi
Terry. Hello Terry.
Hi Brianna.
Brianna. What a lovely name.
Thanks for joining us. Let us know where you're coming in from.
Hi
Hello Cameron. Hello Claire.
Hi Claire.
Hi Christina.
Christine, sorry. Hello Megan.
Hi Megan.
Hi Megan. All right.
So we're not live.
Must be.
Okay, must be streaming because I turned the phone off.
Yeah, I think we're definitely on. We're definitely live because everyone's saying hi, aren't you? So
yeah.
Definitely live. All right. So our topic today. So let us know in the comments. Have you watched the new Netflix series called Surviving Death? It's a 6-part series. It talks all about psychics and mediums and reincarnation and many different things. So our topic today is inspired by that, and we're going to talk about near-death experiences. So the question for all of you today is, have you experienced a near-death experience? And if you have, what did you learn from your experience? So we have got someone hosting with us today that has experienced one of these near-death experiences in the past. So we'll be talking about that very shortly. We've got Tina saying, oh, it's gone. Hello, Polly. That's all I saw.
She said, Leah, that she should be at work. She's tuned in from Portsmouth as a we. And yeah, she doesn't normally get to watch you, so she's really happy.
Oh, that's really nice, Tina.
Yeah. All right. Hi, Eileen. We're all well, thank you.
Hi, Stace.
Hi.
Can't hear Leah very well.
I wonder if I should take my headphones out.
Maybe it's because me and Polly are the loudest.
Yeah. it's because it's gobby.com.
If not, then I will take my headphones out. So yes, watched it. It was very interesting. Yes, so we're talking about the Netflix documentary. Watched it too, Alison. Yes, have you two watched it?
I've watched three of them. I've watched up to the seance one that I found quite interesting. I've really enjoyed what I've seen so far. I'm not sure how many more there is. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how many there was.
There's 4, I think, because I've watched 3. There's 6. Yeah, I've watched 3.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting because the one I haven't seen yet, I don't think I have seen yet, there was one about I think that's one that's next, is about children that were like reliving like a past life, or they kept seeing a past life, and I've got a snippet of it. I started watching the very beginning and I find that absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, that was the one on reincarnation.
Yeah. So I'm really interested and looking forward to watching it. I just haven't had a moment to watch it. I've just been so busy. It's been quite. So what we've got, Tina, my lovely niece at the age of 18 had a near-death experience where both her nans met her and told her she had to go back. Oh my goodness.
Very similar to mine, that one.
Yeah, so just going back to the question for everyone, so have you had a near-death experience? And I think there's a few things that come up quite often when people talk about near-death experiences. So it's often like a blinding white light, or your life flashing before your eyes, or seeing your loved ones, or experiencing your body, like experience your body on a table or a hospital bed or something like that. So coming to you, Jane, do you want to talk a little bit about your experiences? I think you've had more than one, but let's go to one of them for now.
I had one, show me age. I had one when I was 40. Around about 40, I had a hysterectomy, and it was my first major surgery. And I was scared. I'd had little surgeries, but not big ones. So obviously I was a little bit nervous anyway. Obviously something went wrong in my surgery, because I woke in theatre, but I didn't remember going to theatre because I was scared they'd give me a pre-med. So I was very relaxed before, and by the time I'd counted, I got to 99, I was gone. So I don't remember being put in theatre or anything, and I'd never seen what a theatre looked like. But I woke, see the bed, see the iodine on the floor, around the floor, the lights, the theatre lights, and I thought, where am I? What am I watching? And realised I was watching me. And they were trying to do CPR on me. They were using the pads and trying to bring me back. But I wasn't floating above me, or I was literally quite low level, so I could sort of see at an angle. And I almost felt I was looking over the doctor's shoulder at the end, like watching them do it. I wasn't scared because obviously Claire's put a comment up saying she hasn't had one and wouldn't want one. I can honestly say it wasn't scary because you don't actually take on what's going on at the time. But the room was very brightly lit, which I thought afterwards, that's what theatres are, aren't they? They've got to be able to see what they're doing. But I got a very strange sensation when I realised it was me being worked on, that two people had come around me. And although they weren't initially, I couldn't see them directly, I just knew instantly it was both my nans. It was my dad's mother and my mum's mother. And they both were talking to me, although I couldn't actually see them, but I could smell them. I knew that it was them. I had that natural child instinct of knowing that both my nans were there. Totally different people as well, and never really see eye to eye actually. But both of them were saying, you must go back. It's not your time yet. You've got much work to do. And obviously I was like, oh, and then I was going, but why are they doing it? What's happened? They went, don't worry, you've got to go back. We'll see you soon, but we're always with you. And when I woke up in recovery, it was there instantly. I knew what had happened. And I thought, oh, this is not right. And I remember looking around the recovery room, and it was like I was in the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. The clock was wrong. It was backwards. Everything was dysfunctional. It was like everything was the opposite to what it should be. And I must have sort of dozed back off. And then the next thing I know, my consultant came to talk to me, and he started saying, oh, yeah, because it was quite an intensive surgery. There was other complications. And he said, oh, everything's gone quite well. We did have a slight, and I went, oh, I think I'm going to be sick. Because I didn't want him to tell me. I just knew instantly he was going to tell me something, and I didn't want to hear it. So, like Claire, I was probably a bit, at the time, overcome with what had happened. But I wasn't scared. It was more shock. And was it true? So he left me alone, and that was that. But I didn't tell a soul. When I obviously came to, left hospital, I just told myself it was my imagination. I'd had too much drugs. I'd woke up on the theatre table. I made every excuse possible. Rich is laughing here, because I just thought there's no way that happened. Because until you've experienced it, you can't get your head around it. So I told no one, not even my husband, who I had never not told. I mean, we talked about everything, and I never told him either. And then about 6 years went by, and a friend was really upset, and she wanted to go and see a psychic medium, and I hadn't been seeing them for years because I still wasn't working as one then. So I said I'd go for support, and this psychic brought it up, and I sat there, started crying because I told no one, not even my best friend. And she started talking about the experience, and she's going, which one of you two is it? And I'm not saying a thing because I thought, well, I didn't come here for a reading. She did. So it's not about me. And in the end, she looked straight at me and she went, Jane, how long are you going to bottle this up and admit what happened? And the tears were streaming down my face. It was like she counselled and cleansed me at the same time. And because my best friend's trying to look at me as if to say, what, why haven't you told me this? And I wouldn't even look at her. I was just looking straight ahead. And afterwards, she said to me, that was your awakening and you've ignored it. And the question now is, how long are you going to keep ignoring your abilities? And she said, don't ever come and see me again because I won't read for you. She said, that was an awakening. You've not acknowledged your awakening. So it was quite surreal because after that, I told everybody. I literally didn't care who I told. And it was like I bottled it up and couldn't explain it. And I thought people would think I was crazy. So, but when you watch that program, the first episode's on obviously near-death experience, and when you listen to other people's, there are so many similarities, but in different for each person, but still similar. I mean, there was no tunnel for me, but there was a very bright light, and that is always, you know, represented with near-death. And yeah, I just wish I had talked about it or had known people, like-minded people, more, that I could have understood it, because it didn't scare me. I wasn't scared, but afterwards I thought people think I was crazy, so I didn't want to talk about it. So yeah,
it's funny, isn't it? I guess you don't realize until something happens. It's like I would think that I'd be like, oh my god, this has just happened and I need to tell people, because I know what I'm like. I need to tell people this thing. But then if it really happens like that, and maybe you could have practically died, you know, it's a big shake up, isn't it? Sometimes I think that you don't know how you're going to react to something until it happens to you, because it hasn't happened, not like that hasn't happened to me. I've had different experiences, for example, like which is I didn't nearly die, but I was like astral traveling, and I could literally see, looking down on myself, like I'm on the ceiling flying, you know, looking down, like, and I'm in my bed, and then I've gone off. And actually it was really strange because one of my best friends, his children were very similar age to my children, and he was worried about his daughter at the time. And I went from hovering above my bed and watching myself in there to traveling to his house and being on his daughter's ceiling looking down at her. And I could say to him, I said to him, like, the day after this really weird thing happened, and explain what pajamas she had on and everything. And he goes, well, I wouldn't have known what pajamas she had on. You know, so in a way of leaving my own body and going and doing that, I was like, that was really surreal. But I mean, I could have told him anything. So he was like, and he's very spiritual, so he was like, oh my gosh, you know, that's so strange. Yes, she was wearing those pajamas and things like that. So and in other ways, when I've been doing trance and I've felt this, I guess I have left my body, I don't know, but this sort of euphoria feeling where I feel like I'm in heaven and I don't want to come back. I mean, obviously I do, because I'm disciplined and I know that I've got stuff to do. Plus I've got a family, plus I've got a partner, plus, you know, everything else. But there's times when I could have just floated around in that heavenly feeling forever. And if that's what dying's like, then I'm not scared. I'm really not scared.
I must admit, I mean, like I said, she's my best friend. She was my best friend since we were 15, and we were very close. But I was embarrassed. I don't know what I was, but I'm so glad that when it came to light, when this psychic told me that she was sat there, because it made it real. It made it realise not only was a psychic telling me, as much as people can be sceptical, because I still was myself then, so, you know, I openly admit that. But my friend witnessed what I was being told and couldn't understand my reaction and why I'd not opened up. So it is quite surreal, but I can only say to anyone out there, don't be scared of it. It's not something to be scared of. It's the after effect. Now I'm spiritual. Like I said, I had something else happen last year in my operation. After the operation, now I'm just like, I'm a spiritual worker, psychic. I'm more spiritual. I'm not scared of death, like Polly. It doesn't scare me. And I know this sounds quite, God forbid, I might go out and get hit by a car in a minute, so I take this back. But it's made me realise now that I am not ready to go. I know I'm not ready to go. I know I've got things to do, and it's a weird message. I get it a lot, and I get told in different things I have much work to do, which is what my nans told me that day. So I know the stuff that sometimes I think I should know what I'm meant to be doing, and I get a bit worried I've not listened to that experience, but I think they tell me when they're ready. So it is quite but I mean, my next experience obviously was after my op last year, my second biggest op, because this was about 5 hours of surgery, and I didn't recover very well. I got through it. There was no dying on the operating table this time, but they couldn't wake me up. I was quite in a deep sleep, probably having a nice little meditation, knowing me. And when I eventually did come to and get put back on my ward, I wasn't given any pain relief. So when I woke up in the night, I was obviously feeling quite crap because someone had missed it off the chart. And I woke to find, and I think I've actually told Richard this, because I'll quite openly, like I said, talk about it now. I woke up from my shoulders down to my feet, loads of figures around my bed. This is in the hospital ward. I've got 5 other women in this ward with me, asleep. And they looked like little blobs, little alien blobs, and they weren't very tall. So it's always like this white light, and they were all talking in a high frequency. I didn't understand them at all, but I just felt quite safe that they were around my bed. And when I sort of shifted, or maybe made it knowledgeable I was awake, I don't know, they went, "We must take care of her, much healing to be done, as she has much work to be done. Don't worry, we're taking care of you." So I went back to sleep. And when I woke up the next day, I knew I no longer was imagining that on the drugs, because I hadn't had any, or anything else. I knew instantly I was being told, "You are safe," because it was quite traumatic, my accident last year. And obviously my period in hospital was quite traumatic. I just played it down very well. So that was another nice sort of experience to add to the fact I was very poorly. I ended up on oxygen the next day. So I was poorly. And again, didn't tell people that. But it made me realise I was being protected. I was safe. So it takes away that fear. So, yeah.
And when did you actually start getting into all the psychic medium?
I've always had spiritual connections from the age of 5, but I didn't get a lot of support. And I always used to see dead people. I called them dead people then, because that's the only way I knew to explain it. And I got no support. So I was in and out of it. I always followed astrology stuff, tarot cards. I used to have a lot of stuff, memorabilia that I'd collected as a teenager. I just didn't have anyone around to support me. And again, I didn't tell a lot of my friends, because that wasn't, I mean, they were interested in boys, makeup and drinking. So was I, but, you know. So I think that's another reason I kept my experience so tight-lipped, because there was no one really to share. I didn't know anyone around me at that time that believed in spirituality or psychic work. They might all go to one, but they didn't really believe it. So I think that's why. So it was that probably, because if I was truthful, that was probably when I did start paying more attention to signs. And when I see this medium 6 years later, that is when my life started changing dramatically. And it was seeing her and being open to what I'd experienced that started me back on this sort of path. And I mean, it ended my marriage and stuff like that, but it was something I think needed to be done. So yeah, so it was 6 years. Apparently, according to I was 6 years still ignoring it, and that life experience to move me along. So maybe there is a reason we haven't.
Who
knows?
If you're calling, then they're going to do everything they can to get you on that path.
Should we look at Tina's comment?
Yeah.
So she's put, in 2018, I had sepsis and one kidney was not working, became really ill. I felt my heart was on its way out, and then I drifted off, not taking anything in. I heard my father call my name. Ooh. So I wonder if he was calling you back, Tina, as well, or making you more aware of suddenly coming back into your body, maybe, if you were drifting in and out. Stace, bless you, Jane. You're looking really well after all you've been through with your accident.
Thank you, Stace. It was just, Polly was saying earlier she's never seen with my hair out, and I said this is my scruffy down Sunday day. But yeah, thank you. I don't always feel like I'm looking well, I must admit. I feel like it's aged me, but I think there's lots of things have aged us this last year.
Yeah.
But thank you.
At
Lots.
least we've got masks now. We can cover our faces.
Do you know what?
Sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
Stace has said, Polly, why does the Dutch lady do the trance behind a black curtain in a box and not in front of people like you do? The reason she was in a black box, they call it a cabinet, even though it's like not a cabinet like a kitchen cabinet that you go and shove yourself in. It is, and why does she strap in her wrists and ankles? Right, good question. The reason that, right, let's start at the strapping in. The reason why she's strapping herself in, or somebody else is strapping her in, and somebody else is checking it, is because when you are doing a physical seance, which she wasn't set out for trance, she was set out for physical. So physical mediumship, physical phenomena, and physical seance. So the reason for when she's strapped into a chair is so that she doesn't cheat, because unfortunately, a lot of people that claim to be, and there's some even in the recent years who have claimed to be physical mediums, have actually been cheating, and they are getting out of the chair, even when they're strapped in, getting out of the chair and getting their clothes off, for example, flapping their t-shirts at people so they think there's a spiritual breeze and wind, talking through the trumpet, which is supposed to be for communication from spirit, to talk through this trumpet and move it around. They have actually been talking through it themselves and use faking physical phenomena, so faking physical happenings. So that's why they are strapped in.
Now the reason they proper cable ties, yeah, it's not just like a Velcro thing, but actual cable ties in.
So we okay, I'm going to so yeah, she's doing her best with the talking there. She's just getting herself set back up again. And the reason why the medium will go into a cabinet is to contain the energy of the physical medium. So they say that when they are encased in this black curtain or this black cabinet, and that the energy will manifest and can manifest into, again, physical phenomena. So if anyone's heard of sorry, I was just making sure my phone was off there, ectoplasm, for example, where there's lots of like bodily fluids that are literally coming together, coming out of the mouth, ears, nose, and can basically form into like hands, heads, feet, figures. I have never actually seen that in real life, because unfortunately the person that I went to see was fake that I spent rather a lot of money on. Yeah, it's basically to contain the energy. So when that lady, the Dutch lady, was in the box in the cabinet, basically she was sitting for a seance, a physical seance, not just for trance. However, during a physical seance, trance can happen. So you know, it's one of those things that they sort of come sort of, I say, sometimes hand in hand. It depends on the medium, really. So I hope that answered your question. When I've sat for physical, I've sat in a cabinet before, and sometimes I don't. And I think that if you are always reliant on a black cabinet, then your energy is only going to manifest in there. It depends what you're sitting for. I like to try both, and I also like to sit in red light, because I don't think there's a lot of people that are sincere, but there's a hell of a lot of people that aren't. Do I think she was genuine? Yes and no. I don't say she's not genuine. I'm not maybe convinced that she was going into a deeper trance as she could have.
I'm glad Stacey asked the question though, Polly, because I was going to ask you that privately, as we've talked about, as we have mentioned the show, because it intrigued me about the cabinet and the locking down. And obviously, I don't overly particularly want to do trance. I try and avoid even going anywhere near that when my voice starts getting a bit croaky. But I did think, because there was people on there that were sceptical about her, because she went to visit a house, didn't she? And they said they felt that what she told them was on Facebook and blah, blah, blah. And it was hard, because as psychics, it made me think that is what people think. They're either going to believe us or they're not. We can't change how people think. And people tuning in on this show, they're either going to believe us or they're not. That's the way people are. I was one of those people. So I get it. I totally get it.
And I'm sceptical when I go and see it.
Yeah, well, we are, aren't we?
See another
Because
medium.
Yeah, but
And
I thought, is it because she was on the camera and it was hard? Because obviously you've been filmed in trance, but it hasn't been with that intense. Mate, I don't know. I mean, we don't know how many camera crew were there.
Yeah, exactly. There's probably loads of people behind it.
I did wonder if it was hard, but it was debatable at times. I watched it and thought, no wonder there was still such cynicism around this sort of profession. So it was quite. It's interesting question Stacey's asked, really.
And I think as well, when I was watching that, there's some things that you can easily get from the internet. I like it actually when I ask for a name, obviously because I have to write a name in my diary for an appointment, they could give me any name. They could call themselves, I don't know, whatever they like. You know what I mean?
Mickey Mouse.
Because I don't know. I've just got their name saved under Bernadette or Frank or whatever it is, you know. I haven't got a clue who they are. And to be honest, if you lived a day of my life, you would know that the only time I can be bothered to go onto Facebook is to watch some rubbish or cats and dogs or make a stupid video.
Or your Snapchat last night.
But yeah, I haven't got the time. I haven't got the memory bank for one. My memory bank is shocking. Honestly, it's like I'm like blimmin' Dory out of Nemo. It's like somebody says something to me and I'm like, oh look, a pretty flower, and then I've gone over there, you know. It's like
yeah. But I think that's the hard bit, because I only ever take a first name. Even if someone books for them, I just take the first name because I'd like to know who I'm addressing, and I don't think I'm that good that I can actually work out who they are before they get there. But people go, oh, I thought you'd want all the name, and I go, why? I only need to know them to address them so I can actually introduce myself and not go, hello, thingy. And it is funny, but people go, oh, well, normally I've been asked the whole name. I thought, well, and date of birth, address. It is, because we don't need any more than a name. What else do we need?
Yeah.
Just to say hello.
Yeah, and it's like another thing that I really don't like is when I've been to see a couple of mediums at fairs and things like that, or readers. And the first thing they do is ask for my date of birth. And I know it's not just so they can check I'm over 18. Clearly I am, right? But it's one of those things where I think, oh, great, numerology. Right, don't get me wrong, I value it or whatever. Or they're looking into my star sign and they're telling me that I'm an obstinate pain in the arse Scorpio. I know that, right? I already know that. Right, so I don't need anyone else to tell me what my personality is, because I already know what my personality is, because I've had 50 years experience of myself, you know. So it's one of those things that I think, oh really, you know. And then sort of the temptation is to give a completely different birthday, but then I think they're just going to rattle on for 10 minutes
and your
about
reading will be wrong.
me being a Gemini, you know, and I'm thinking, really? But you know, that's one of my pet hates. If I want a astrological reading, if I want a numerology reading, I'll go for that. But if I want somebody to look into my future, for example, then I wouldn't. I would be, yeah.
I think for people out there thinking that they want to
Hi, Lynn.
Hello, Lynn.
Hello, Lynn. Hello. I think for people that are out there that are thinking that they want to get into all this, just when we can, getting back to like going to development classes, because I remember I used to go to all these development classes and you would get to know the people in the room, in the circle, but there would always be new people in there and we would never ask about the names. But there's just so many different ways of reading, isn't there? Like we were learning how to read through a glass of water, or how to read flower readings, and just loads of different things. It's so interesting.
No, me.
See,
my funniest reading, I know we've diverted a bit, but do you know what? I'm all about energy, right? I'm all about energy. And I remember going when I was sitting in a circle myself years and years and years ago, and they said, right, we're going to do tea leaf readings this week, right? And so I thought, okay, not my thing. It's just not my thing. I when people do it, I think, wow, you can see that in there, right? But anyway, we're doing the thing. Yeah, we're doing it, and we're putting the tea leaves in and then swirling it around and then turning it upside down and turning it how many times, blah, 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 right? And so anyway, I'm reading somebody else's cup and they're reading mine. So I picked up the cup and I looked in it. I thought, oh my God, I have got no idea. So I thought, I'm not going to look at the cup. I'm just going to feel her energy off the cup. I did a brilliant reading and brought her mum through. And you think, actually, it's got nothing to do with what was in the cup. Yeah. It's all to do with the energy. But I just couldn't do it.
But we know
Wow.
We know that it's all tools, isn't it? It's that the crystal ball, tea leaf reading, tarot cards, they are tools.
Yeah.
Sometimes it helps us. I mean, I started with tarot. I was quite natural with tarot. It was just like second nature, like I'd done it in a lot of past lives. And tea leaves, I just tried it and didn't realise I could even do it. But if I'm truthful now, the more I do it professionally, the more I become experienced, the more I'm relaxed. I can, like you said, read somebody's energy. Otherwise, how would we work online? We wouldn't be able to work online without.
No, of course not.
But it is quite fascinating still.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought tea leaves. How can you actually read tea leaves? And then I did it, turned it, and went, oh yeah, you can. But but it's different. It's how different you feel in it, bringing in the energy, because it is still an energy around that person. So you were holding the cup. So you were picking up.
Yeah, I just didn't look at it. I looked in and I thought, oh, nah, right, okay then. And about half an hour later, it all made sense. That was awesome. Right, Tina Place. Holly, you are brilliant at a brilliant trance medium. Your guide gave my daughter-in-law fantastic evidence during one of your trance nights at the studio. Spot on. Oh, thank you very much, Tina. So you definitely deserve a card now. So okay. I didn't know who was going to say that.
Well, okay. I'll do. Should I do it? The more people that interact with us, the more chance they've got of getting a reading, and hopefully, because we waffled on and went off subject a bit, but it's always interesting. If there's any questions, comments out there about near death, we will come to you after this reading and go through and do some readings for those. But yeah, please interact, please share, please like.
No. So Richard just asked if I've ever had a near-death experience. No, I haven't. The closest thing would be similar to Polly's, where I've been doing the astral traveling, and I felt like I was floating above my body, looking down, and it just felt so close to death. Like I could feel my heart beating so quickly. And I even remember the teacher who was in the class coming over and like putting her hand on my heart because she could see what was going on, and my heart was just beating so quick. I just thought, if I don't come back now, I'm never going to come back. And it was quite scary, actually. But she brought me round and she actually said that she could see my soul like levitating above my body. It was really odd. She actually said she saw that, and she's very psychic, so I believed her. But that's probably the closest thing that I've had to a near-death experience. And I probably wouldn't like to do it again because it wasn't very nice.
Oh, no, I think it's awesome.
Yeah. There is another terminology, and I can't think what the abbreviation is, where someone, because I've done that as well, where you sense something's wrong with somebody or something's happened to somebody, and you ring them or something, and you find out they've actually passed, and that's got I can't think what it's called. I don't know why I can't remember it. And that's, I mean, obviously psychics, we'd have that sort of energy again, but you'd be surprised how many people have experienced that, where they've just felt they've had to ring someone or go and visit someone and then found out that something's happened to them.
Yeah.
So
maybe some people, because the spirit person comes to them and tells them something, and then because they're not a psychic or medium, they don't pick it up in that way. It's just like, oh, I need to call the person.
Possibly, but I mean, my experience of that, I was 13, and I think it's just that connection. If you're psychic, if you've got that ability, whether you're tuned into it or not, I think that connection gives you that sixth sense that, you know, I mean, it was with my other nan who lived with me, and I knew instantly something was wrong, and I woke up to go and look for her, and my mum stopped me and told me to go back to my bed because she had passed. She'd literally just passed. So for me, I think it's that sixth sense on that side. But I'd be interested if someone's experienced that. If not, like you know, there's all types of experiences that affect the other side, if you look at it like that. So anyway, should we do Tina's card?
Yeah.
Tina.
Right. Who's going first? Lee, you're going first.
Okay, so Tina, I'm just going to pull you a card. Okay. So we've got Messenger of Action. So I'm using the angel cards today. So something new and excited related to creativity and your career comes to attention. So I don't know whether you have, I'm kind of getting that you're not looking for a new job, but within the job that you're doing at the moment, there's going to be places where you can grow, and your attention is going to be needed in certain areas. You'll feel an eagerness to learn and you're ready to get going, although you might feel insecure. So it might be that you've been asked to do something a little bit different that you're a little bit unsure about, but this card is just saying do it anyway, go for it. There's growth to be done in lots of different areas. So even if you feel a little bit unsure, then just to do it anyways. Hope that makes sense.
Do you want me to go next?
Yeah.
I'm using my Faithfuls today, and I've got Accelerated Motion. This is from my John Holland psychic deck. And it's funny because obviously we're talking about near death. And as soon as I looked at that, I just see that looking up to the stars, looking up to the afterlife. And so it's irrelevant to the subject, but also a bit like Leah said, I feel there's a learning gap now that needs to be progressed. I feel there's lots of interest, lots of stuff with the stars around it and making me feel there's lots of interest in lots of different things, but it's finding your niche, not trying to overload your teaching ability or your learning ability, which can be easy while we're at home online because you can get roped into too many things and then can't concentrate on where you may actually sit. So I think that's about learning as well. I think that accelerated motion is about your learning and your progression with your spirituality. And the afterlife. Maybe it's trance. Maybe it's doing the trance.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, interesting. Because I've got the Wheel of Fortune and Strength. And this is still like going in with what you guys are saying. There's a little bit of a theme going on. This is like saying at the moment, like Leah said, sort of, I would say the insecure bit first. There's something coming to you, Tina, that it feels like whether you're pushed into it a little bit, I don't know, but it feels very much like there might be sort of a pressure put on you, if you like, to go forward in a certain area. Okay, now this might be work. Okay, maybe more than work. Maybe it's two different things, spiritual and work. But this is just saying, look, at the moment, just keep strong, okay, and whatever like hits you, if you like, believe that you can, even if it's slightly out of your comfort zone, even if it's sort of just something you haven't tried before. This is saying just making sure that you're strong in this and think, we can all have a wobble inside, can't we, sometimes, but this is saying try not to wobble, try to think, right, yeah, I can do it, even if it's slightly out of my comfort zone there. Now, it doesn't feel like it's a bad thing, it actually feels like it's a good thing, because this Wheel of Fortune comes round. You've got the skills, you've got everything you need, and this is just saying you've got to take an opportunity in a moment. It's sort of a flash opportunity that comes up, and it's a definite say yes card. It's a definite take that chance and take that opportunity. So really don't be scared about it, don't be worried, and if anything shoves you out of your comfort zone, think, actually, if this hadn't come along, I wouldn't have maybe tried this, I maybe wouldn't have thought I could, and you can. So yeah, keep your chin up on that one. I feel really good about it though.
And just very quickly, I've got some goddess cards here as well. So I just pulled you a quick goddess card, and it says you're a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality. So if there's something that you think that the topic is that we're talking about, then you are a magical person. So you can definitely help to manifest this. So you've got a goddess called Rhiannon that seems to be working with you.
But she's put okay, thank you, trance. So I think that's where she wants to be going on her trance journey.
Yeah.
Hopefully I will be helping her at some point.
Yeah.
It's obviously just a little bit mad in this world, and unfortunately we can't make any plans, can we?
No.
Not
so
like
we've got
that.
A comment here from Nokomis. At 10 years old, I drowned. I felt like it felt like forever that I went under to being on the beach, seeing with my eyes. But when I was under and took water on into my lungs, the visit was white light, peaceful, and I wanted to stay, but I was asked back to my life. Interesting.
Wow.
And I think that is quite interesting because on the show, the Surviving Death, they talk about that, don't they? They don't want to go back. A lot of them said that had really in-depth stories, they didn't want to go back. They felt peace, they felt calm, and because they hear loved ones' voices or they feel safe, they just don't want to go back. So I mean, mine was quite short and sweet in the whole thing of some of the stories that were told on that show. So I think that is quite interesting that that's why it's not scary, because you're quite happy to be there, which shows that we will be happy. I know that sounds mad, but we will be peaceful when we you know, we get to that when we have to go sort of stage. But that constant, it always seems to be a loved one that calls us to come back, just letting us know. It's like they could.
Do you think everyone gets the opportunity to have the choice to come back, or do you think that if it is their time, then they have to go?
I don't know, because I think we've all got different opinions on the afterlife. I'm a true believer, doesn't go down too well with some people, that we've already been given our death date as we're born. So I believe our death is already written way before, as soon as we enter that sort of canal, actually, to, you know, as a fetus. So for me, if we're going to go anyway. These experiences, I think, are for other reasons, because even like the astro traveling and any other sort of experience when you're awake, I think it's all there for a reason. It's escalating something, or it's trying to show something, or it's trying to get you to do and help others, because most of this work is to help others. It's not for self-gain.
You think about how many people have had them. If you like read about it, listen to stories, watch that program, for example, that it significantly changed their life. And you think if they hadn't had that experience, would they have just carried on and on and on and on in the same way, making the same mistakes and the same issues and not learning? Maybe we have to have them. But I do think that we have them for a reason, and I do think if we're not supposed to pop off at that point, then we won't. Just as I believe, like what you're saying, Jane, if like, I know, I'm just saying, because it's current, for example, I mean, everyone's obviously very fearful of COVID at the moment. Now, I'm not, because I think, well, if I get it, I get it. And if that's my moment, that's my moment. I can't do anything about it. If I can be safe, I can do whatever the government's saying. But if that's my time, that's my time. But say they brought me back from an experience and cured me, or I came back, or I've been very, very ill, and then I came back, and then I walked out of the hospital and literally got run over by a bus. That's because I was supposed to have gone. That's because I might have supposed to have gone last week, but that didn't happen. So they're going to make sure that I do this week.
But it is a bit like Cheating Death, that one, isn't it? It's like that film, Final Destination, I think it was called, where they cheated Death. So Death literally, I know it's a film, but Death literally was trying to catch them because they hadn't gone when they should have gone. So it is, I think, again, if you have, like they say, people with 9 lives, maybe that's because they've been very lucky cheating it, but actually their time's running out. Because I mean Stacey just said she thought that we had to stay here till we learn our lessons. See, again, I believe we choose a particular lesson when we come. We learn that lesson while we're here. Doesn't mean we learn it well. And when we go back, we then have other lessons to learn if we come back. Depends how many times we've come back. It depends if we're now going to come back. So everyone's got a slightly different feel on the afterlife anyway, and how we got there. But I truly believe these experiences are for a reason. They're to I don't know. I mean, like Polly, I'm not scared of COVID, and obviously I feel for everybody that suffered with it. But I'm not going to be scared of it, because if it is my time, it'd be my time. But I just feel that we've got so much to experience and learn, and it's not always easy. This job is not easy. This is not. I mean, no one signs up to do it for the easiness, because it truly isn't. It gives you. There's so much we have to deal with ourselves and understand ourselves, and we get sent so many different things that it's not easy. And these experiences maybe are to make us, in all the different experiences we've had, to make us understand why it's so important we carry on. I don't know. What's Julie? Julie's put, I've not had NDE, but out of body experience when I was about 7 years old. I was running with friends when I was up in the air, seeing the backs of myself and friends. Felt fantastic and just right. So that was not even
astral traveling there as well.
I was going to say that's not
daytime
even
traveling.
That's not even an accident. That's like a time walk thing, isn't it? She's literally got carried away with the running and went up and tried it in a higher level.
I think that's really cool. And they say that out of body experience and even near death experience feels a little bit like daydreaming. So I guess if we wanted to like daydream and astral travel, then we could learn to do it anytime. Just take ourselves out of the situation and go. go somewhere else?
Because it's like doing seance. People like they asked a question about the box of the arms. Some people sit in the dark, some people don't. Some people meditate with their eyes shut, some people don't.
Yeah.
Some people need to prepare and do loads of stuff before they do sitting. Other people could be in a car and suddenly get bang, bang, bang coming and go, God, could do about that. I'm just, there's no rhyme or reason to how we all work on what we need to do. We're all doing it in a different way. So there's no reason why we haven't got to be awake when we experience stuff as well. We haven't got to be in a coma or a sort of deep sleep due to medication or anything else, does it? We could still be awake and experience that.
That was one of the questions that just came up a second ago off the back of the question that I just read out was, can you have a near-death experience when you're dreaming?
See, when I read that, and I did read that, but obviously the conversation carried on, I would say that possibly, I can't rule that out, but at the same time, I think if you have a very significant dream, as that was, that sometimes that's saying that something's coming. For example, like if you look at dreams in a symbolic way, like the bolt of lightning, for example, it could be like a bolt out the blue. It could be something that's just happened in your life. It could be something that's about to happen in your life, and a preparation that you didn't die. You rose above that situation, even though it could have been a massive issue, a massive problem, like a tsunami, for example, in a dream is a massive overrush of like emotion, because water is emotion, and in that you're not really, it's not a premonition that you're going to get, like, you might do, again, you can't promise, but it's not a premonition dream. It's a dream where you feel so overcome with emotion or so overwhelmed that, but you might still be living in that dream. You got through it, or you were standing on the top of something and you were alive. But it's saying that, you're still clinging on, you're all right, you're going to get through it. It just feels very overwhelming right now. So I would have seen that as a symbolic dream, but that's myself.
Yeah, and I think the lightning may actually be because they may not have dealt that trauma from being, 10 years old, they're still a child, so their thoughts are different. Maybe they still carry that burden deep down, and that's a reoccurring of what happened, but in different ways. And that lightning isn't about lightning and dying. It's about, again, that awakening. It's someone's trying to tell you it was an experience, not, it was a trauma, of course it was a trauma, but it's an experience, and it's experience to learn from. So maybe like the lightning the lightning's symbolic to say, come on, there's more. Maybe there's more that they have to do on their journey, and it's just constant reminders. I wouldn't have thought it was the fear factor of something else is going to happen, and I think it's more symbolic.
Yeah, we've got Eileen saying, I experienced deja vu, so I think last week me and my friend walked out of work and one of my friends said something to me. The next night, exact same words said, same person and same position. Interesting. I think deja vu is sometimes. Say that again. Yeah, I know. Richard's saying my dog is doing something to my door. I think there's another dog at the other side of the door. Please not start barking yet. I think deja vu sometimes means that you're at the right place at the right time. That's what I feel that deja vu is. What do you two think?
I think it's astro traveling.
Yeah.
I've because deja vu, like Eileen's just said there, she had that feeling and then it happened the next night. So to me, it's premonitions. It's a bit like remote viewing. As a psychic, you can remote view and see different things. So I think, deja vu I always thought was daydream as well, because sometimes I just think, I'm on like Groundhog Day for the amount of times I used to have deja vu. I don't actually get a lot of deja vu now, but as growing up, I did. So was that again like, hello Jane, wake up, we have got work for you? I don't know, do you get a lot of deja vu as psychics? Because I really don't
I do. I get it all the time, but I think reading Eileen's post, I'm seeing two different things. Yes, it could be deja vu. So it can be, as my guides have explained it to me, that deja vu is like when you have, you know, when people talk about going back in time, it's actually going forward in time.
Yeah.
So it's like you're suddenly on your timeline, you've tripped forward and seen in this other sort of dimensional state what's going to happen in front of you, whether it's just words or something that's said, or you feel like you've been to that place before. So you may haven't have been to that place before, but in the future you have, but some reason you've gone forward, seen that place and come back again, and you haven't actually been to that place. You feel like you have because it's a future dimension, which is massive to get your head round. However, there is also the fact that if you have got a very strong link with a friend, for example, a family member, loved one, friend, you can often be so in touch with them empathically that you will know what they're going to say. Even though it might have been the next day. I mean, me and Jose, my other half, were sitting on the sofa last night, and we watched, bad move for me, watch Marley and Me. Let's watch Marley and Me, because that always makes me cry. Right, okay. So we're sitting on the sofa, and obviously the dog's getting to the point of dying, and or being put down. And I knew that Jose was going to say to me, "How old's Bella now?" Right, but it didn't come straight away. 5 minutes later, he went, "How old's Bella now?" That's our dog. And I knew he was going to say that, because obviously I'm very in touch with him. Plus the fact I knew that he was thinking straight away in my brain. My brain knew that his brain was thinking, "Oh my God, I don't want our dog to die." Right, and so he's then thinking, so adding up in his head how many how many years the dog's got left. And I know it's all happening, and I'm sitting there waiting for it to happen. And he said, "Yeah." And then when you are so in touch with whether it could be a friend, it can be a loved one, it can be a family member, it could be even someone you don't like but you've got some massive thing with, you can be so in touch with them, you'd know when they're thinking about you, you'd know when they just pop into your head, and actually then they text you or phone you, for example. It's having such an empathic link. That's how I would explain it. So it could be two. It could be either. It could be deja vu. It could be you jumped ahead in time and jumped back again, or it could be just the fact that you've got a very strong link.
Or you're a psychic and seeing it before it happens.
Absolutely.
So.
Hi, Pamela. Hi, Richard and Polly and the other two gorgeous ladies.
Hello.
Hi, Pamela.
So you two are gorgeous. Wendy.
So I had another question for Jane, and it was just off the back of your near-death experience. So do you think having a near-death experience has a positive impact on your spiritual growth?
Yeah, definitely.
You do?
Obviously at the time I didn't know any different, because I was, like I said, embarrassment. And I think anyone, obviously we're of a slightly different era, me and Polly, and a lot of people...
We're old.
Being polite. I think now there's so much interest in spiritual stuff, and people a lot, especially the younger generation, are much more, and a lot of men now. And there was lots of times when that wouldn't have been the case. They would have been doing it secretly. And I just think, yeah, definitely, because that's what I always go back on. And like I said, I had that operation back last July. I wasn't in a good place afterwards, but I still knew I wasn't dying. And I'm still walking with a stick, and I still know there's nothing going to happen to me. I've just been COVID testing. I'm just about to start to be a vaccinator, to do the vaccinations. Nothing's, and my mum's upset because she's going, "Oh, you can't go near people, they might have COVID." It doesn't fear me. I'm not, So yeah, I think it is a positive, but maybe not if you're not on a spiritual journey, and I wasn't at the time. So it was more this, I was scared, and I'm scared of why I had it or why I fought it, and was I crackers, not the experience. It's hard to explain. The experience didn't scare me. It was emitting it afterwards. And I think that is true of anything in life. I think people are scared to speak out on anything. So
but actually, when you do, you realise that loads of other people have gone through the same thing.
Yeah, so it's a positive. To anyone watching, it's a positive. It really is. It's something to take on board.
Yeah. All right. So
cool.
when you're saying
racing cars,
experience,
yes. Did you hear that?
I've got the Eastern Road, haven't I? Next to me. Yeah, that was. I think that was like some sporty person out on their Sunday drive for their exercise.
And maybe they've got small feet.
I think they use the fact the road's quieter, slightly quieter, to speed up and down it at 4 o'clock in the morning at the moment.
Can I just say to Pamela Rogers, who put on that I'm gorgeous, Pamela, I was only teasing, my sweetheart.
Yeah,
you are just equally as gorgeous. We all tease each other.
Well, I wondered if she didn't think it was me because my hair was up, and she thought, "Who's that?" Anyway, should we do Wendy's question?
Yes. So Wendy had an experience the other day when meditating, and when coming back, I was floating. Then something I can't see because it's microphone.
Felt myself.
Felt myself re-enter my body and electrical sensations around. Okay.
Nice.
Interesting. I like that electrical sensations. It's like a weird frequency vibrating thing, isn't it? Yes, it is a dog show over here.
It's me, the dog show. When Mr. Producer did comment, I wasn't quite sure what the dog was doing behind, but it did look like it was having a rather nice time for a moment there. But I think it was actually looking for something underneath the cabinet or something.
But you're lucky you didn't hear mine, because when we first started, he actually had a funny 5 minutes and was running backwards and forwards behind me and slid on my mat, and I've got like laminate flooring, so the mat went flying, and I heard him at my sofa, and I couldn't turn around and look because I knew I'd laugh, and he'd start just running around in circles, and then he's just flonked out by my feet now.
Oh,
but he's normally a barker. He
concussion.
normally barks. And hang on, I better check. He's moved. No, he's breathing.
So Polly, what do you think those electrical sensations are? Do you think that's like something to do
energy
with coming back and stuff?
It
energy.
is energy, isn't it? I mean,
definitely.
You know, doing trance as well, Leah, when like you can have some really weird sensations if you've gone into a really deep state, and as well you, Jane, when you've gone into a real deep state and you don't feel like you're really you, do you? I mean, you know you are, you know it's your soul, and you know it's you floating around up there somewhere, but when you're actually then reconnecting with your body, you have to then remember, it's a bit like if you've ever astro traveled or tried to get back into your body when you know your body's like, has anyone ever done that? Have you two done that? When you feel like you're asleep?
When you've been thrown back in and I actually landed on the floor and I've jolted because I literally felt being thrown back but ended up on the floor where I was thrown back so quickly. Yeah.
And it's when you're blending nicely back in with your body. When you're blending back in nicely with your body, you can start to have that reconnection feeling as well, because you know your body is we say the solid thing. However, I don't believe it is. If you I don't know much about quantum physics. I don't even know why I'm about to go into that. If you know how unintelligent I am. No, really. I didn't even go to school half the time. Don't tell my kids. In fact, I probably went for a third of my whole secondary school. But anyway, I don't read because I'm dyslexic. I don't bother because I just can't be bothered. I've got an attention span of a gnat, but for some reason information is zooming at me today. But yeah, I would say that we are not 100% solid. For one, we are however much percentage water, and you know, there's a lot of us, isn't there, that we're just energy. And so when more compacted energy, though, our body, but our soul is coming back into that and then feeling that feeling again of the connection, that's where you'll have the electrical feelings.
So do you think that's what happens as well when you're like in the middle of the night when you're sleeping and then you feel that jolt? Do you think that's
often
traveling somewhere?
I think you've travelled somewhere and you've come back either too quick or the trance sort of the changeover period, because obviously you're meant to come back and then wake up in a nice peaceful manner, not wake up, oh bloody hell, but it's that feeling, you know, when you feel like you fell off a cliff and you suddenly jolt out there. I think that's all come from not because of what dream states might say that you've got something going on, it's literally because you came back too quick. That energy level, you were too keen, maybe.
Or maybe your mind heard a knock or something like that.
I remember doing a regression once with a good friend of mine, and she did this regression session, And she was telling us what to do and where we were going and where we were meant to be. And I was like, bang, 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 jumped 50 miles an hour, straight in the Akashic record. I was there in the library, flicking through my books, seeing what past lives I'd done and if I had any more lined up. But we were going to get to that, but I jumped everything else out just to do it. And of course, when we came to, I was like, woo! Because I hadn't followed the regression as well as everybody else. So your energy takes over, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Wendy, we're going to all pull your card.
Pardon?
Oh.
All right, Wendy. So you have got Ace of Thoughts. So you've got the little angel cards there. So it's saying that you're going to have some really good news come to you, and you're going to have a lot of brilliant new ideas. It will be, I feel like somebody, and I don't know whether you've got children, but I feel like there's somebody young that's going to give you an idea to do something in the future. So whether it's like a business idea or something to help other people, but the idea is going to come from a younger person and it's going to be an amazing idea. It's definitely truly inspired from somewhere else. It's not just going to come in your mind, it's going to be like from someone, and it's important for you to communicate clearly and thoroughly with others that are involved in this idea. Don't be dissuaded by little challenges along the way. They're just course corrections for your perfect plan. So just to recap, there's going to be a little messenger come to you, whether it's your children or someone else's. It's going to be a really good idea. Just work on it and work with some other people. And I think it's going to work out really nicely. So it's a bit random, but let me know if that makes sense.
Ooh.
They're really cute cards, aren't they?
They are, yeah. They are.
Well, I've got Temptation, which it does sort of fall in because Temptation actually is about transformation as well. It's not just, I mean, it's the devil card. It is the devil, isn't it? I've had a memory lapse. It is the devil card in Tarot Pack, but it doesn't always mean you're being tempted to do wrong things. It's actually showing a transformation. And it's drawing me. While Leah was talking, I kept seeing the key. The key was coming out more than anything else, and it's telling me there's some sort of key. I won't sort of say a key to a door, but in a way that it's about a key opening up a new opportunity. I've got the maddest thing. I've got a plate, a crockery set, and I don't know if someone's going to break it or someone's going to drop
it's a
something.
Greek wedding.
Yeah, I don't know, but I am seeing a crockery plate, and it's a dinner plate. So I don't know what that dinner plate's got to do with it and what's showing me. But the key is showing me new opportunities, new openings. And it's about transforming into a different situation and about taking on something new. So that does sit quite nicely with Leah's because it's about opening up opportunities and don't dismiss anything. But the key is quite relevant. It's drawing me into the key more than any other part of that card. It's like key. I don't know if you're going to get offered a new key to something or there's a key going into a door for some reason. But the key is very, very relevant to some kind of transformation that's going to be going on in the near future.
Okay, I've got the Two of Cups. Yeah, this is for Wendy.
This card's for Wendy Cleaton.
Two of Cups. Sorry, Seven of Wands often with me means, Wendy, that you've got like there's something coming up with you in some sort of partnership, okay, where you're sort of having a bit of an argument in your own head about something here. You've got to make sure that you think things through, okay. At the moment, I'm going through a work partnership with this, okay, not necessarily a romantic partnership. That there's either two people coming together. However, there is going to be somebody announcing a marriage, okay, with this year as well, or there's going to be announcing an engagement or marriage as well, aside from that. But this is like anything that you're hoping to do going forward, working in some sort of partnership. It's really good, but I really feel like you're going to be about having a bit of an argument in your own head about whether it's the right time, whether it's the right time to do this, whether it's the right time to invest, whether it's the right time to push something forward. Now, if you are going to be looking, I know this might not make sense to you yet, but for some sort of place to be doing this from, I don't think you should invest in that yet, okay, but definitely have an idea of how you're going to do this into the future. Now, this sounds weird. It almost sounds you don't know what we're talking about yet. I don't know if you two feel the same, but I feel like she almost doesn't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because when you said about a partnership of work, that key was going back into my head, and I just feel there's and you're talking about not going into a business place just yet. I just feel it's futuristic. It's definitely futuristic.
Into the future.
And pay attention.
But definitely start talking about it or doing the groundworks with this, or put the foundation work in. If you like, but definitely don't go the whole hog and say, okay, I'm going to hire a place, or okay, I'm going to do this. Not quite the right time yet, okay? But this is definitely saying, just do all the homework, do all the groundwork now, look into finances, etc., because there will be a moment or a time when this will happen and can happen and be really successful if you do it at the right time. Hope that helped. If it doesn't make any sense at all, Wendy, it will. Right. Hello.
Hi, Michelle.
Michelle.
You're late, but that's all right. You can watch back.
I was nearly late, Michelle, and I had to be here.
Yeah, but you've got a bad leg. We'll let
you. Thank you, Nicole.
We don't know why you were. We don't know why
told you I was
really.
late.
Okay. So I've just got to sort my cards out because I just dropped them. So this is what I'm doing currently. I'm not ignoring anybody. Okay. I'll be there in a moment.
Who's this reading for, Richard? Can't see it. We didn't give him one. We talked about his experience and not. Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've told you two cards. We've got one from the Goddess and one from the Angels. First of all, with the Goddess cards, you've got one that says be strong. Okay, so there's obviously a situation around you at the moment that is requiring strength from you. It's saying you're stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. Okay, and then straight onto the Angel cards, it's all about relationships actually. So a relationship grows closer as two people are falling in love, or a current relationship grows much stronger. So it's really interesting how they both just picked up on strength there. It's talking about friendships that might deepen into a spiritual connection, but I feel that these cards are all about mutual respect. So I don't know if you're going through something with your partner, but it's almost like just ensuring that you're respecting each other, understanding each other, and developing your relationship. So I do feel that it's more of a long, you've been with this person for a while, or they've been in and out of your life for a while, and that you just need to be there for that person. So let me know if that makes sense. Thank you.
Quite interesting, because I got spiritual strength, and straight away I got two people, and but I also got his relationship with himself, and obviously we were talking about his experiences, and I do feel that there's a lot of spiritual stuff there to be growing and understand why he does experience and is more sensitive to some of his situations. But I felt there was a partnership going on, but I also, looking at that Buddha, I feel like the expression I'm getting is like he's trying to keep the roof up from crumbling. So I feel like there is a situation that's going on, and that he's trying to get through, but at the moment, and it is like that feeling of that suffocation, and you're trying to stop yourself from being boxed in or sort of trapped. So I feel there's a lot of work to be done on his emotions and his personal situation, but also this will open him up on his spiritual connection, because I just feel there's a lot of stuff that's deep rooted. Because the card is in the purple sort of indigo, which is our intuition, the Buddha is actually green, and I just feel like I want to do a lot of healing for Nokomis. I hope I'm saying that, for Nokomis, because I just feel there's lots of healing to be done and lots of past stuff to finally be let go of, and actually, like I said, take that experience as an experience, not as a trauma. So I think there's a lot of emotional stuff going on around him.
Okay, I'm getting very similar. Right, now I've got 3 cards because I got 2 and one I didn't realise I had 3 because 2 were stuck together. So you've got the Hierophant there, if that's how you say it. That's how I say it. The Hangman, and also the Empress. Now, to me, straight away, before you guys even talk, because I got the cards out, I do feel like there's either a strong legal situation going on around you at the moment, or something that seems to be taking rather a long time to sort out. So it would either be legal, or it would be it could be with doctors or something like that, or somebody high up in something. Okay. Now this is saying that you've seem to have been battling for a while. Okay, in a situation, it seems like everything keeps. It's like you can't let something go yet. Okay, you can't relax yet, and I hope this is going to make some sense to you. There could even be issues around some children, or somebody around you seeing some children. Okay, or there's something to sort out. Now this might not be you, it might be somebody around you, but this is just saying that it does have to go through a system. Okay, or whatever's going on with you at the moment has to go through a system at the moment, and that to get out of the other side, you need to, whether it's you or somebody close to you, you need to do it all properly. You need to do this and with determination, but with love and not resentment. Okay, and I don't know if this is making sense to you at all. I'm trying to be careful about what I'm saying, because obviously I don't want to go to deep personal things on here. But yeah, if it is either legal or you're waiting for something to be sorted out in a legal way, this is like, make sure that you do everything properly, okay, and go by the system. And to get the best result is doing it like that. Okay, it's talking openly, but try not to let things pent up inside you. All right, and that will be the best result. That made some weird sense. Please give us some feedback on there for any of us. Okay. Hello, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Hello, Paula.
Okay.
Claire. When I was 8 years old, we moved to a new home. I started to dream my dad had died. I would wake up crying, go and check on him, and it continued. Sadly, 10 years later, he did die in that bedroom. Oh, wow. That's very sad, and I'm very sorry about that.
I've got someone on my screen. He wanted to get his shoes, sorry.
Yeah, well, that's quite ironic, really, isn't it? I mean, we say that, I mean, a lot of dreams when somebody you're dreaming, somebody you love passes away, aren't actually that bad dreams, to be honest, even if they sound horrific. When you look into dreams like that, they don't usually mean that somebody's going to pass away. I don't know what you guys think.
Claire's comment now. Can I just quickly say, Claire, I feel like with your dad, did he pass quite quickly? Because I feel like he's actually around you quite a lot. I feel like he was, I'm seeing like a medium height man with a little bit of weight on him, and I feel like he died fairly quickly. But he's also saying something about a baby that's just been born in the family, or a baby that's been born very recently, and I feel like it's a girl, and that he's just been around her. Let me know if that makes any sense at all.
It's funny because I want to keep playing with my left hand. I'm playing with the palm of the knuckles of my palm. I feel like there was a problem around the hand. And going back to dreaming, I think it's a hard one, because again, if you're used to the dreams and the visions that we have, we sort of take them as they come, even if they seem a little bit sad. But it must be hard for people, especially at 8 years old, to have dreamt that. I just get a feeling of anxiety with that, though. I just feel there was a lot of anxiety around that anyway, to be dreaming that. And the sadness of it happening 10 years later, you were still quite young at 18. And obviously it was a feeling that you feel that you could have prevented it, because that's not the case. For me, it's more of a premonition, maybe, as young as you are. I mean, I was 5. I mean, probably how old were you when you first experienced something like this?
3.
Yeah, so it's sad because you dreamt that, and I mean, I've got a friend, and she reckons she knows when she's going to die. She's constantly seen it since a young age, But it should be used as I think it's a premonition, and
maybe
say that
you much time with that person.
But I just feel there's a lot of anxiety around it, and it's a shame because he died quickly from a heart attack. Yeah, I just want to keep playing with my left hand. So I don't know if he worked with his hands. I feel like I've got calluses on my hands. Like a labouring sort of person. I just want to keep playing with it. Like I want to keep rubbing something on it. Do you remember that green Swarthega stuff that the men used to put on after a hard day of labour?
Sorry, it's like a sweat lodge in here. I've just had to turn the heat off.
I think maybe I was always worried about him and his health. Yeah, which is understandable, Claire. Like I said, 8 years old. I mean, 8 years old, you should be enjoying yourself and having fun times. But and to even die, you were still young when you lost him. So, but that anxiety is quite apparent. I can feel that. I'm picking that up quite a bit. No, office worker. I think your ladies are both talking about one of my granddads. Oh my.
Possibly. I keep seeing, this is so random, but I keep seeing Phil Mitchell from EastEnders. I don't know why. And maybe the name Phil will make sense to you, but that keeps popping in my mind.
Well,
when you said about being tall and slim, it's funny because when I actually said what I said, I saw a tall, slim man, but then I put that out of my mind. So
it's a Phil Mitchell.
Yeah, it's one of your granddads.
And I'm just constantly rubbing my hands like I've got calluses on them.
I think you've got a bit of a party going on up there, Claire, because I keep picking up somebody that's either had a stroke or a brain hemorrhage around you and was coming very close as well. It was I felt like almost like I've been whacked around the head, and on the right hand side it would have affected the right hand side. But yeah, I don't know if you can take that as well. And a J name. What was that? She liked him. Phil Mitchell.
Right, so we'll give a quick card.
Well, at least we made you laugh, Claire. Well, Leah did with Phil Mitchell. Not sure he'd make me laugh. Bless you, Claire. Much love to you.
Okay, Claire, I'll give you one of the angel cards here. It's saying successful completion. This is a time of incredible accomplishment. You're justified in feeling joy, a sense of completion and pride in an amazing job that you've done. You've been blessed with many spiritual insights and soon you'll begin a new journey. But for now, take time to bask in the happiness of your dreams coming true. So there must have been something that you have accomplished within the last couple of months. I feel like you've actually been helping someone, whether it is a close friend or work employee. I feel like you've been working quite closely with somebody to actually help them with their stuff that they've got going on. And I feel like this is something to do with that rather than your own work. But a sense of completion, you've done an amazing job and been blessed with many spiritual insights. I do feel that you're quite spiritual actually, and that you say things to people when it comes in your mind. So I wouldn't be surprised if you have done a few readings but without even realising that you're reading someone. So I hope that makes sense.
Okay, well, I was reading Claire's.
Yeah,
sorry,
I just
was
read that.
Comment there. Yeah.
So that relates to what Polly said. I got harmony, and it's funny because I know we're not meant to be touching people, seeing people, but as soon as I felt that like Leah said, you've been helping someone because I feel real closeness, and if you're not physically touching them, I just feel that you're doing a lot around them and helping somebody to try and get them through difficult time, which is, with your own sadness, I just feel that you use that strength, like we were talking about experiences, you're drawing from that strength of what happened to your dad to help others. My dog's going to bark any minute because my son's just gone out, and I just got this massive feeling of you always want to help others and just want to be, you're a qualified healer. I thought I recognised you actually, Claire, because when you put Italy, I just feel that harmony. And obviously, talking to healing, you've got the green around that, and I just feel that there's lots for you to give to others from your experience, and pulling off your experiences, using your losses and your emotions to help others. So a really lovely card, harmony. It just shows that you're finally finding peace in yourself to help, and that's coming out by helping others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very good. Well, I guess what I got. Your desire is within reach and travel. An upcoming trip proves to be a life-changing in positive ways. Now, funny you say about Italy, because as soon as I was doing these, I kept feeling like I was going abroad with you. Now, I don't know if you're intending living there in the future or living there long term or whatever, but this is saying that if plans have been sort of on the back burner, probably because of COVID and Brexit and God knows what else is going on in the world right now, it can all be happening all at the same time. You know, you just think, oh my God, really? It all sort of seems to be, even though all this stuff's going on, these plans are coming back for you. So if you have been like waiting for news or waiting for the go ahead or waiting for the green light, if you like, this is saying it's coming soon. Your desires within reach. Have faith as everything is working out in your favour. You don't have to worry, okay? It might take a little bit longer than you anticipate or longer than you think, but that does not matter as long as you get to where you need to go. And this is really promising for you at the moment, okay? Oh, April is a good time, or April going into May is a good time, apparently. And that sorry, your dad's just coming in now. Your dad's just saying to me that he said he's really proud of you. He wants you to know that everything you've done, you seem to have got to by yourself. It feels like, yes, you've been helping people, they've been helping you, but you need to basically realise that, and you've done a lot of this on your own, Claire, and that you need to be proud of yourself because you have pushed, and you don't realise your strength, and he loves you very much. I hope that makes sense.
Oh, that was lovely. Been very challenging. I nearly gave up, but I dug my heels in and I'm still here. Well, I think that makes perfect sense then, what Polly's just said at the end there.
Yeah, definitely.
Go Claire.
Go Claire.
Go Polly.
Got some cheerleaders. Okay.
Sunny work.
I had a really bad experience with that a few times. I was in a nightmare relationship years ago and I was being thrown around the bedroom ceiling. Never told anyone. Was very scary. Wow.
So is that in a sleep trance? I'm hoping, being thrown around the bedroom ceiling.
I'm
getting that you're in the physical. You're in a nightmare relationship, and then in your dreams it was quite Or was it in your dreams?
Mm-hmm.
You're having a nightmare relationship.
Let us know, Sally.
Let us know, Sally, because I don't. But again, it goes back to, I mean, it's the most quiet, it's a form of meditation going to sleep. You're not actually meditating in general. When you go to sleep, you are, because it's your calmer state. Mm-hmm. So your body's more relaxed, your mind's more relaxed. So, you're bound to have more going on. It's whether you wake up and remember it. Mm-hmm. So uplifting.
Oh, we just missed that. I just nearly got to the end of that.
Claire, stop lifting. The timing is spot on. I intend to go back to the UK and come back to Italy in April.
Yay!
Yeah.
Go Polly. Go Polly.
You'll always miss your dad, Claire. We all miss our to lose a parent. It's always sad. We always, but they're all with us.
Yeah. Sally was asleep.
Yes, thank God for that, Sally.
Yeah, I was getting a little bit concerned.
I was thinking, how's he getting you around them ceilings? I don't want to ask.
Awaken.
Okay.
So is that for Sally's reading then? Are you saying she was trying to escape? No, I'm saying.
In a dream state.
Yeah. I would say that within I think in a dream state you do. It's like you could be.
I think we better explain to everyone what we're talking about here. Richard has just said that apparently psychologists say, can somebody finish that for me because my brain's gone?
That if you are trying to get away from a bad situation
when you're in a dream.
Yeah, in your dream state or non-dream state, you
form of escapism.
It's a form of escapism.
Between all of us, we manage that. But that makes sense, because I think that if we are in a traumatic situation, I've found before that I have gone into this really weird sense of calm, and I don't feel like I'm in my body, and I'm looking at the situation like a third person.
Outside. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's almost like it's not me. It's not me.
But you just take yourself out of the situation.
Yeah. Well, I can. I did it on Saturday. On Saturday, we had to call an ambulance for me because I ate a plate of soya that I didn't know I was eating. And me being my sensitive little self had a bad allergic reaction. So anyway, I slid out of my body, and this is honest to God, right? And all I'm thinking is the bit that slipped out of me was thinking, like, okay, be calm. What are we going to do about this? And I just thought, and then that part of me was saying, Piriton, Piriton, Piriton. Now, I didn't even know we had any Piriton. Do now. But then the rest of me went to the calmly while I couldn't breathe, to the medicine cabinet, got the Piriton, which I didn't know I owned, and took it, and I took 2, and I forgot that Piriton knocks me clean out. But anyway, phoned the ambulance because my throat was closing up and everything else, and I was calm. It was like happening to someone else. I was all right.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good ability.
Wow.
To do that and take yourself.
Yeah. But when I explained to the ambulance people when they came, I said, "This is what I did because I panicked." And I said, "Was that a bad thing to do?" And they said, "No." I said, "If that's what you do when you panic, I'd like to see what you do when you're not panicking."
So yeah. Well, you just wanted to see some other people, didn't you, outside the house? That's the way you did it.
Yeah.
But getting back to Sally, she's just said, "Oh, okay, I see. That would make sense." So obviously that makes sense to her what you said, Richard, because obviously that would she said it was 40 years ago as well. So that was a form, obviously, of escapism from something that was going on in Sally's world at the time. So, but yeah, strange though, isn't it? Around the only time I've ever seen anything around the ceiling is when I watched The Exorcist, and I wouldn't want to watch that again.
Oh no, that scared the absolute life out of me.
No, there's not much I'm scared of nowadays, but that is still something that I would not wish to see again. So yeah, don't know why. Yeah.
Okay. So one last reading for Sally, and then.
Oh, one just fell out. I don't know what it is yet. It could be interesting.
Okay, Sally. So for me, you've got the Helper of Abundance. So this card is saying, although you've got a lot to do, it is important that you get yourself organised first. So once planning is complete, you can roll up your sleeves and get to work. Your guardian angels surround you and are ready to help out. And this card also indicates a very loving, kind and loyal friend. So this is showing then you've got a lot of things to be doing, but instead of just throwing yourself in there, make sure that you get organised first. I guess I keep getting in my head as well, just don't waste time. So I just keep getting that, don't waste time, make sure that everything's organised, and don't waste money as well. I keep getting, so whatever it is, don't waste time, don't waste money, make sure that it's all planned out first. I feel like you have to put a lot of money into something. Like, I don't know whether it seems like you're going to be ordering in bulk or something like this, but it's just keep getting in my head, just work out the numbers first before you put yourself into that. But your guardian angels surround you and they're ready to help out. Hope that makes sense.
Well, I've got Prosperity Begins, which does go again with the
Mine's got the little green 4-leaf clover.
But it's funny because I looked at the seedling and keep feeling that you're buying bulk seedling, and it's a bit early for spring flowers, but I just feel there's lots of bulk buying in seeds or planting something in the garden, and I keep looking at the bottom seed and it looks like a walnut, and it just keeps going walnut, walnut, walnut. I don't know I don't know if you love walnuts. I have heard they've taken the walnut off the old the whip thing that they used to have a walnut on. But the walnut whip, that's it. They've taken the nut off. So
it's just a whip now.
It's just a whip with no walnut. So it's lost its name to. Yeah, but it was. So I used to bite the walnut off and chuck it out. But
that was a bit.
write it down. But anyway, but I
The producer just said it looks like a turd.
It's good job we didn't say anything else because we're before the watershed. But also, I keep seeing peaches, although they probably are apples. I always and I feel that someone's going, it's peachy. Someone's saying it's peachy, like it's a saying. So I don't know if it's peachy is a saying that resonates with you. But I do feel that, be cautious of what you're doing, because I feel like you have gone and bought, you're thinking of buying, or whether it's on the internet, like bulks of seeds and going to start planting in your garden. But be careful. I think what I want to say is I want you to touch it. So don't buy it off the internet. I want you to go into the garden centre and feel it. The hands are telling me go and touch it. Don't buy it on the internet. Don't know why.
But
it's peachy. It's peachy. Loved coffee walnut bits, but didn't eat the nut. No, I used to bite it off and spit it out.
I don't even know what we're talking about. I really don't.
Because I had a walnut and it won't go away.
Oh, that'd be it. Right. I've really lost the plot. Right. I've got dietary change and assertiveness, okay, which could go into nuts and seeds, etc., right? But I really want to say you need to really look after yourself right now, Sally. Now, if you're not already, okay, or if you feel like maybe Christmas is sort of, or even could be you or somebody close to you that you're worried about their diet, for example. But this is definitely saying that you need to start looking after yourself, looking after your diet, making sure you've got the right vitamins inside you. Definitely vitamin D, vitamin B, for example, B12. I feel like your energy's low. You need to possibly, which you're probably very unlikely unless you're half dying at the moment, able to get a doctor's appointment for something like that. But this is just saying that start to look after yourself now, Sally. Make sure that you're eating the right things, the right foods, the right vitamins. I do feel with you that you might be having like either a food reaction to something, or something is not sitting well with you, or you're feeling a bit bloated. Okay. Now, I still feel like there's something a bit missing, Sally. There's something a bit missing within your diet. So keep an eye out. I feel like you know something with your energy. Okay. Feeling either low or feeling a little bit, maybe look into vegan type protein shakes or something like that. I just feel like there's something that's going to keep you, sort of get you up a bit, whereas it all feels a little bit sluggy. But be assertive with yourself, okay? Look after yourself, start doing a bit of exercise, okay? I'm not saying you have to go on a rash diet, you just have to start looking after yourself and your energy, okay? And if you're feeling like sluggish, have a look into why, maybe what you're missing. Okay, totally different than yours, but it might have been to do with walnuts. And do you know walnuts have actually got really high anti-cancer?
Yeah. They're not as nice. They're a bit bland and a bit sharp, aren't they? But they actually
and
have
Brazil nuts. As
they
well,
have got
really
the best
high in
antitoxins. Yeah, definitely. Is that how you say antitoxins?
Antioxidants.
Antioxidants, that's the one.
Says the person that didn't go to school. I didn't go to school either. That's why we do these jobs.
We went to the School of Life. The School of Life's much better.
Sally's saying thank you, ladies. She did say she's got a cousin called Peachy, but yeah, all I'm getting is it's Peachy. It's Peachy. And she's got to buy another tree. No, listen to Leah. No more buying until you know.
Just eat an apple and get the seed out and plant it straight from there.
There you go.
Do that.
Okay, well, then. I think that is us. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We hope you like this subject matter. If there's anything you want us to cover, then just do write it in the comments and we'll have a look through later.
Always a pleasure to work with you, ladies, and always a pleasure to see all of you lovely people coming on today. Every Sunday.
Thank you, all of you, for watching.
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Yes,
that's the best.
Okay. Michelle Rodenite, we're really sorry we didn't get through to your comments, Richard said.
Yeah. I think we were all yakking and talking a little bit too much, but there was so much to talk about today.
Definitely.
Right.
Oh, look.
He's been wanting up the whole time, so there we go. happy
Not
now.
picking mine up because he's scruffy. He needs a haircut. A bit like me.
Oh,
A bit like me.
oh
But yeah.
bless.
Anyway, it's been lovely with you ladies. It's been lovely, even though I was late. Sorry.
No, you were. Bye.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
See you all in 2
Okay.
weeks.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.